The extra protein you might find in your canned food might not be the real issue. I do a lot of interior environmental contamination and recently had to add a few new environmental hazards to my home inspection or consulting list, and that would be food. One of the foods that you may consider thinking twice about is things in cans and boxes. Now, obviously, you don't see what you're eating, and in this particular video that I was looking at, I saw people dissecting food and finding insects and things like that. Well, generally, insects and things like that are probably good protein for you, believe it or not. But it's the other stuff that's in there that you don't see that's probably the bad stuff for you. Now, let's just talk about 1970 to 1980 when I grew up. I ate this stuff, I loved this stuff, and I made mom buy this stuff. But there's a difference between 1980 canned food and 2018 canned food. Number one, they had a patent that in 1981 permitted man made type sugars such as aspartame and all that stuff, which pretty much isn't good for us. It's making everybody obese in America and actually causing diabetes and making people sick. The other stuff in 1992, they started to introduce a lot of GMOs. And again, that's some more of that bad stuff that's making people sick, diabetes, and etc. So they add these types of ingredients in these cans today that weren't there back then. So everything's pretty much changed, and then you've got stuff you can't pronounce, and you have stuff that they hide. So I would say at this point I might not be eating anything in cans. I would not be eating anything in boxes. I would consider canning. I would consider pressure cooking. I would consider dehydrating and freezing and buying all your produce from local farmers that do not use chemicals or GMOs. I would probably hold back on some meat since it's not really good for you. But if I did buy meat, I would make sure that it's organic, grass fed. This would not just include beef and chickens. But so, in conclusion, even though this girl and other people are finding protein in our food that we can't see, like bugs, probably they're not the problem. It's the other stuff. Thanks for listening. I do have a service, call Mark with a question for other house problems below, or just Google it. And there's a few products you could check into below in the comment section. Thank you. Please rate and subscribe.